Greetings, my name is KKT or Advice. KKT is the abbreviation of my names. Advice is my name when it's translated into English. Today I'm inventing a code. I started interacting with code when I was 13, 14. Searching motivation codes, searching inspirational code. So that's what led to me inventing my own code. So let me not waste any time and get straight to the point. My code states that the little tree on the ground beneath I think is the growing tree. Since a human is phenomenon or miracle, I might say. The ground has the ability to sense and switch your eyes when you're about to dig. I see by a fully grown tree that the tip is still the little tree on the ground. Thus my code is talking about me, is talking about change. I have a desire for money ever since a little kid. I have a desire for a luxury life. When I was a little kid, I knew that you can do those kind of things when you focus a lot on academics, education. That mind to think about money, how will I get money? Family connections, empire of the family, or by studying the books, searching for a job, hustling. Reasons to get money. Even now I love money. Why do I love money? The same as that little kid who was at church. My code's talking about that. Change. So again, my code is a myth. We all know religion. Where does the world come from? When it's a myth, it's talking about that beneath the ground, the trees have already grown. The stem exists beneath the ground. Because I see by the fully grown tree that the tip is still the little tree on the ground. That's why I say that beneath I think the trees have already grown, have fully grown. It's theology. Theology is the study of religion. I wonder why. So my curiosity led me to this assumption. So let me repeat my code. The little tree on the ground beneath I think is the grown tree. Since a human is phenomenon or miracle, I might say, the ground have the ability to sense and switch your eyes when you're about to dig. I see by a fully grown tree that the tip is still the little tree on the ground. And I repeat again, my code is a metaphor. Metaphor is to talk somehow, to not talk straight. That's English study, a subject at school. I'm starting to be too educational. Rhetoric, riddles. That means my code is what? It is called out into two parts. The first part is talking about change, the love I have for money. Is saying that the consequences of your own actions. What you're doing today is going to determine tomorrow. Again, it's talking about what you reap, what you sow. And indeed, if you sow maize, you will indeed get maize. You will enjoy your corn. If you don't sow a seed of a corn, there's no way you will reap a corn. There's no way you will eat the corn. It's talking about that. So you all know a metaphor I just explained, the rhetorical riddles. It's talking about that change. So let me repeat my code. The little tree on the ground beneath I think is the grown tree. Since a human is phenomenon or miracle, I might say. The ground have the ability to sense and switch your eyes when you're about to dig. I see by a fully grown tree that the tip is still the little tree on the ground. My code is talking about that. It's talking about change. And it's talking about the wandering of the earth, the planets, the sun, the moon, the darkness at night. So it's saying that beneath the stems already exist. Beneath the soils, the stems exist. For instance, let's take a vine tree. Vine tree is a grape tree, those trees which have stems like, do you know a sweet potato trees, the way they grow? So that's why they're being called vines. Is at school a study, is a course studying about plants, plant studies to know about vines. It's just that I'm starting to talk advanced English when I'm talking about vines, but let me just I'm talking. So let's say we plant a grape tree. The we plant with the stem of the grape tree, the little stem. So when they have grown, the stem of the grape tree is the tip of the full grown tree of the grapes, the vines. Again, it's talking about what? Let's take, for instance, again, we take a Christmas tree. When the Christmas tree, when it's a little tree emerging from the ground, when it's a full grown tree, it's still that little tree on the ground. So it's talking about that, my code. And again, when say a full grown tree, is vice versa when the little tree is emerging, planted like. So my code is talking about that. It's a myth. Again, is a what is a code, a metaphor, a ritual. So then let me use it. Let me state it again. Sorry. The little tree on the ground beneath, I think, is the full grown tree. Since a human is phenomenal or miracle, I might say. The ground have the ability to sense and switch your eyes when you're about to dig. I see by a full grown tree that the tip is still the little tree on the ground. That's my code. I've officially invented the code. So let me state it for the last time. The little tree on the ground beneath, I think, is the full grown tree. So this time I mentioned fully a mistake. It's difficult to bear in mind because it's a long code and a long code is quite fascinating. So let me repeat it. The little tree on the ground beneath, I think, is the grown tree. Since a human is phenomenal miracle, I might say, the ground have the ability to sense and switch your eyes when you're about to dig. I see by a full grown tree that the tip is still the little tree on the ground. So that's my code. I've officially invented a code. Thank you.